And we're back. Spider web. Come here, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Can I pick it up? Move the left stick. I'll hold it down. The left stick? Oh, I'm guessing it means that if I was at an Xbox pad. Any goodies? Oh. Wilhelm's contract. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will run for a total of 3 years, when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian Royal Court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Gerich. Move, chair. I've got drawers to search. In the box, what's in here? 9! Oh. Catalogs. Fuck? What the hell was that noise? Nothing there. I swear I keep hearing footsteps behind me. Oh, what if Shepard's behind the books?
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
Yeah, just good. So my screen made to be jittery. Are you meant to be doing that? Oh! Did I mean to do that? Was that a bad thing? Thank you. Oh, we're gonna have another one. Yeah, we've got another one hiding in here. I bet on hard mode is bloody awkward for these things. And I bet there'd be a lot of climbing to get like stuff on these. Right, so I think we'll probably end up going in a circle if I carry on following through anyway, so I checked here, didn't I? And that does not lead to anywhere else. Oh! Evidence in the laboratory is oh, it's the door here leading to the local history museum. Is there another entrance? We'll soon find out. Ah. I take it this is the... Yeah, so back to the... Right. Can we play the... well, hello? Can I play you? What the fuck is going on? I don't like that noise, man. I'm guessing that means... Wait, I can't remember when the first encounter is. Oh, I thought that was actually going to be use. My screen seems to be quite jittery, doesn't it? Oh! So after the next part,
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
tabular ramps. Can I pick some of these rocks up? Maybe I've got to throw them. Ah, there we go. I've got to throw these through that. There we go. First of all.
"17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Dun, 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 dun.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, then.
Oh, you can smash. Oh, I did smash one. Local folklore. Olstead and Brenberg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Olstead. Olstead? Olstead. Deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbour, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travellers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs and they keep reappearing. Oh, I pressed the wrong one, I'm guessing. J. No, it's The Gatherers. The story reaches all the way back to the time of the Trinity Years, of the 30 Years' War, sorry. It is said that the soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid relics. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, and they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. Is it their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them which reveal their presence? What dark scheme do they follow? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Olstead at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northern western glades, only never to be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Olstead, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Olstead. Unlike the most of the noble birth, rumours are inherited alongside with the title. Research in history reveals little before the castle was consumed by a fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming that the role as the protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage, Therefore the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never really been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact one of the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted order of the Black Eagle, along with the great leaders of this country. There we go. Right, so now I'm sure there's books like that. So that was one. Two. Oh, there we go. Waste of time of me doing all that fucking thinking about it. Which room opened? That one. Else. Regarding closing of the wine cellar, Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's a matter of time until they follow the trail up to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would in a sense solve both of my problems. What the hell was that? What? What? I don't remember that. Yeah. Run. Sand gave way to his tired body as he fell from the camel's back. He felt the wind gently sweep across his face and his dry, crusty lips. Whoa! Whoa, what's this? Oh, did those stairs just go down there then? I thought there was a big fountain in here. Oh, there was another thing down the stairs, didn't I? I heard that scream came up here. So, is this where the wine cellar is? Further down. Yeah. Handful of sand trickled from his crumbling stone ceiling and pushed down on the brim of his hat. He braced himself as the cavern suddenly shifted and settled. Beware when standing in darkness, yeah, we know that. Right. And on that note, we will save an exit. Yeah, well, we'll save an exit because I want to restart the game tonight. So, I'll see you on the flip-flop.